How's it going, everyone? And welcome to what I believe is episode 17 now. I think that's what we're going to go with. And Easton, you're going to bring us through our quick topics to get us going.
Yeah, glad to be back. So the first things that I got on my recap is a bunch of coaches got fired last weekend.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Well, I mean, not woohoo if you're a Dolphins fan. But so one of the coaches that the coaches that needed to be fired were Joe Judge for the Giants. We can all agree.
Mm-hmm.
He needed to go. Mike Zimmer for the Vikings. His time was, up whenever the 2017
Just the way he handled the last two games and the way he just, his body language.
Yeah, he
looked like he knew he was going to
he gave up.
Yeah, he probably did,
Yeah, because
to be honest.
he shouldn't give up. I mean, he's got such good talent with Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. I mean, they need a quarterback. Kirk Cousins isn't it. Kirk Cousins.
You say that, but
he's not it.
Hold up. You say that he was actually one of the more top. I wouldn't say the best quarterback, but his numbers were there, and he showed that he could prove himself to be a good quarterback.
I know.
Just no one's gonna look at it because he's on the Vikings.
Well, here's what I think about it. I think Kirk Cousins is not the right quarterback for wide receivers such as Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen, and I think they should have utilized Dalvin Cook more for Kirk Cousins. He's more that quarterback where he should not be throwing the ball more than 30 times.
He does good when you can get the play action pass going.
I
So
think
if the running game's doing good and he can get into the play action pass,
he's all right, but
then
it's just
good.
I wouldn't want him as my quarterback, right? To be honest with you, would you want him for the Packers?
better than Jordan Love.
I mean, but then so the other one that we can all agree on, Matt Nagy for the Bears.
Yeah, he needs
Finally, he's an absolute.
I'm surprised that didn't happen 10 years ago.
He failed for
Jokes aside,
Justin Fields. He failed Justin Fields. He had one job. Failed the whole team. He had one job, and that was to make sure Justin Fields is more successful. He didn't look that successful. He wasn't even I don't even say he's one of the top 3 best quarterbacks in that rookie draft class. He wasn't. But then also, a lot of people are mad about this one. Brian Flores, me included. I hated this. I can't believe they fired Brian Flores from the Dolphins. And I could not get over that, to be honest with you.
I mean, I wouldn't say it was really a shock because there was definitely talks about him leaving and stuff like that. And I've also heard, I don't know if it's true, but I also heard that there was other things other than just the team wanting to fire him. I heard that he went to leave anyways.
Really?
I don't know how much that is true and stuff like that, but that's what I've been hearing.
Mm-hmm.
But just to see how, some of these other coaches, like Kyle Shanahan from San Francisco, to see his record, in the past 3 years compared to Brian Flores, there's only a 2 to 3 game win difference between those two coaches, and you're telling me that Kyle Shanahan still has a coaching job, but Brian Flores doesn't.
So is that more of the player's problem or the coach's problem? You would say.
What do you mean?
Is his Brian Flores record as of now?
Should him being fired be blamed on the coaches or the players he has around him?
Should him being fired be looked at because of the players or the style that he coached? Personally, I think it was at the beginning of the season when they didn't even know who their quarterback was. I mean, there was talks of Tua going to the Houston Texans and then Deshaun Watson going to Miami. I know there's still talks about that, but it was just they were kind of falling apart, to be honest with you.
This season for the Dolphins was
I thought
one you didn't want to happen, but you kind of expected it kind of thing.
This might sound weird, but I'm actually more of a Tua fan as he's been in the NFL than I was when he was in college.
Okay, out of those two Alabama quarterbacks, I love Jalen Hurts way better than Tua.
Yeah.
Oh, I do too, but I like Tua better now that he's in the NFL than I did when he was in college.
Really? Oh, yeah.
I wasn't a big Tua fan in college.
Oh, yeah, because he played for Alabama.
But I liked Hurts.
Yeah, you did. But yeah, and then also Cooper Kupp. Trevor, you've been high on Cooper Kupp this entire season.
He's on my fantasy team.
Yep, and he secured this triple crown for receiving yards. He had 1,900, which is plus receiving yards, which is insane. And then 16 reception touchdowns. That's almost a touchdown per game. and then 145 receptions, getting the ball. That is crazy. Because, like, he didn't have these numbers when Goff... He had great numbers when Goff was his quarterback. But it's just insane that Matt Stafford has created this environment to where, like, he has Cooper Kupp having almost an MVP season. Almost.
I just think it's cool how a quarterback like Matthew Stafford can come in like that and build this relationship with a receiver like that. And that's great because where they are in the playoffs right now and the position they have
the best position, I feel like.
Really good for them.
You better hope that if we'll get to the playoffs later. We'll talk about that later. But I think some people are sleeping on LA just a little bit. You saw Robert Woods go out with an ACL injury, and you saw OBJ come in, and you're just like, how are they gonna make this OBJ? Him coming in, how are they gonna make that work with Robert Woods being out and everything, and stuff like that? But I feel like people like Van Jefferson have popped out of nowhere too, and made a huge role. And
someone like OBJ, well, it's probably statistically might do better in the playoffs because he's going to want to play harder than he did in the regular season.
Is this the first time OBJ has been in the playoffs? Like played in a playoff game? Because I know last year I think he was hurt when they played the Chiefs.
He played. I know one playoff. The Packers played the Giants.
Oh, really?
I was about to say, I think the Giants.
Okay, because I've never seen Odell Beckham Jr. in a playoff game, which.
Oh, this is the best position he's ever been in.
But then you didn't even talk about the real meat and potatoes on the Rams team. You got Aaron Donald
the defense
on the other side of the freaking ball, and Von Miller, and then you got Jalen Ramsey, who's gonna snipe you out of nowhere.
Like, if you ask me, just looking at the big names in the team, I would think LA has the best team going into the playoffs. Just looking at everything they have.
Yeah.
Now, chemistry-wise, I don't know if they're still there yet.
Oh, we
got Brandon's nice and sweaty while he's listening.
Oh my gosh, Brandon! Can't believe you.
Get out of here, Brandon. Go hit 135 and then come back. But yeah, continue, Trevor.
Oh, that's all I had to say.
That's all I had to say. But okay, and then also some more records being. The rest of this is records being broken. So
I mean, with the extra game, they're expected to break.
They're expected, but T.J. Watt ties the astronaut Michael Strahan.
Honestly, him doing that's still pretty impressive because I think it was the game against the Steelers. He had like 6 sacks just that game.
T.J. Watt.
Yeah.
Not against it wasn't against the Steelers. Was it?
He's on the Steelers.
He's on the Steelers.
Oh, excuse me. No, who was it? The Ravens?
Ravens, yeah.
Or was it?
Yeah, but he did it against the Ravens. He did it the last game.
It wasn't the last game. It was the second last game I watched. Really? He went off.
Either way.
It might have been against the
Browns.
Maybe. Yes, it was because it was Mayfield he was getting after.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he nearly did it, or he nearly broke that record just with the normal amount of games.
What I think is even more. What's the word I'm looking for? Anyways. He did this in only 15 games because I think he missed 2 games of the season.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And he hasn't been fully healthy.
Yeah.
He's been playing probably 75%.
So
the Watts, they tend to play at such a high caliber, they tend to check out halfway through the season.
And that's the thing. Like, if he would have played those 2 games, he would have been out.
Mm-hmm.
Probably could have broke the record by 3.
But yeah, so... Yeah, I said astronaut because Michael Strahan is now an astronaut. I guess.
Yeah.
What do you say? He's an astronaut because he went to space. Michael, you didn't know that?
Everyone's an astronaut. Just depends on you get on the rocket or not.
I want to be in Michael Strahan's spot. But yeah, T.J. Watt, obviously defensive player of the year, hands down. I know I was big on Judon, but I like Judon's swagger and stuff on the Patriots, so that's what I was leaning towards. But swagger doesn't win you awards.
Mm-hmm.
The numbers win you awards.
It's going to be between him and Micah Parsons.
Michael Parsons, yeah. But, I mean, shoot.
And then Tom Brady at 44 throws 45 touchdowns and 43 passing yards. Who cares?
Okay, no. Tom Brady is 44 years old, and he threw 45 touchdowns. He has to be on... He's like a robot or something. Terminator, some sort of thing. But He threw 45 touchdowns, and I think this is the most yards he's ever passed for in a regular. It is, because he threw for 5,316 yards. The last time he threw for 5,000 yards was in 2011.
No, he did it last year.
He didn't do it last year. He passed for 46,000 yards. Yeah, not 46,000, 4,600. But yeah, I mean, he broke his passing record, his own passing record, at the age of 45, and then also the touchdowns are almost to 50.
44, but yeah.
40. He's age 44 though. I mean that's.
You said at 45.
45.
But anyway.
Yeah, he's almost 45. Screw it. But yeah, I just thought that I'd add that in there.
To me, this isn't one of those things that's really all that spectacular because we're going to start seeing this more and more.
As games get stretched, I feel like we'll see it longer. But
not just that, but as we start seeing, which honestly, going for 40 or 53,000 yards. 53,000 or 5,300, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Going for that many yards is once again, to me, not that impressive because he still had that extra game. So
he did have the extra game.
It could easily be 300 yards less.
Yeah.
But
still, he's 44 years old. He's basically a grandpa.
In 10 years, I bet you the average age of quarterbacks is going to be 40 years old.
Well, see, this is the thing, Nathan. Tom Brady was 53-16.
Mm-hmm.
The next person in line is Justin Herbert at 5,014.
Yeah. So he's blowing all these young guys out of the water.
But how
they play?
What are the caliber of Herbert's receivers?
Yeah, Keenan Allen and
Mike Williams.
Yeah.
And then you got
Austin Eckler in the backfield.
Point being, I don't think Herbert's almost as good as Brady, but got nearly the same amount of yards. So
no, Justin Herbert is like one of the more elite passers in the NFL.
I don't disagree with that, but I don't think he's Tom Brady level yet.
I don't think anybody's on the same level as Tom Brady. Tom Brady has his own freaking level, and it's pretty damn high.
Point being is like a lot of these stats to me you can't put just on the quarterback, and plus we're in a day and age now that the average person of that age is in better shape anyway.
If you put a Baker Mayfield in the same position that Tom Brady had, do you think he's going to start with the same numbers as Tom Brady?
If you say yes, I swear to God, I'm
but then again, I don't think Baker Mayfield's near the same type of
Baker Mayfield
player.
is
but if you put Aaron Rodgers on the Bucks, I bet you he'd have.
Well, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady are pretty much the exact same player.
That's my point.
And Aaron Rodgers has almost the exact same team at Green Bay.
That's part of my point.
But those are like your top two. With Patrick Mahomes up there, those are like your top two best quarterbacks in the league as of right now.
Yeah.
And he's 40. I'm just amazed that he can do this at the age of 44 because we've never seen a quarterback.
Like I said, age is not going to matter. Just wait until players start getting older. They're going to start staying in the game longer at this caliber. As long as you take care of your body, we're going to start seeing quarterbacks in their early 50s playing.
I hope.
I don't know about that.
I mean,
I bet you Brady will play till 50.
He said 45.
I will not be surprised
his contract's up whenever he's 45. I bet he's done after this year, but it's just how you take care of yourself. You take care of your body. Yeah.
And how you spend the off season.
Exactly. And I hope Patrick Mahomes plays till he's 45. Shoot, I want to see him play forever, to be honest with you, with the Chiefs. But I just had to add that in there because even though I dislike Tom Brady, you have to give him credit where credit's due. He's old. Everybody thinks he's washed.
I agree with that, Brandon.
Everybody thinks he's washed, that he's not going to do well time and time again, and continues to.
The only reason people think that's because 10 years ago, people or players at the same age were not this type of physical.
All right, Nathan, I got to ask you a question. You said Aaron Rodgers is about the same player as Tom Brady. And
I said they're very similar caliber quarterbacks.
And they have about the same weapons on offense.
About this.
Give or take. I think the Bucs.
How many passing yards did Aaron Rodgers have this season?
I have no idea.
4,300.
41-15.
41-15.
But he also missed how many games?
One.
He played half. He only missed one game against Kansas City.
He missed one game. Yeah, that was against Kansas
City. You can't tell me he was going to throw over 1,300 yards
There's
that
no
game.
way. Yeah.
And he also didn't play for half of this last game.
So did Tom Brady.
But how many games did Brady miss?
He played all 17.
He played all 17.
You can't tell me one game he's going to
throw
1,300 yards.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But you also have to consider what type of defenses each team are playing throughout the season.
They're in the same conference.
It doesn't matter. There's still one might play.
The division for the Packers is weaker than the Bucks division. Let's say that because the Bucks are playing in a better division. Yes, they are because they have the Saints. They have who else they got? They have the Saints and drum roll. But so let's say the Packers. Packers got the Vikings who were.
I believe Brandon's on my side.
What is he saying?
It's easier for quarterbacks now to be.
Wait.
Read your comics, Brandon.
Football
Okay.
is easier for quarterbacks now, so that their bodies will last longer. Plus, therapy, nutrition, science. They didn't.
You only read every other word.
I agree that, but Tom Brady has kept control. I mean, you can totally. Yeah, they have everything. They have the science, but quarterbacks can choose not to do that. Tom Brady
Andrew Luck
decided to just quit.
Yeah.
And grow a mustache that looks freaking awesome. But he decided to quit.
But not all these people had the same mindset about it either.
Oh, I bet Andrew Luck wanted to win, but he was frustrated.
He was tired of getting injured, and he wanted to spend time with his family.
Exactly.
Same thing with Phillip Rivers. Our Phillip Rivers was more on the older side of things.
He was like 38 when he retired.
But anyways.
Brandon is causing. I'm on an elliptical.
Brandon, no one cares.
I think it's great.
But okay, back to what. So they have the Saints. I mean, they have the Saints. The Buccaneers have the Saints to worry about. They have Atlanta, and then they have the Cardinals. But I think whenever you look at Green Bay, you have Minnesota,
which is a tough defense.
And then you have.
They are a tough defense.
They're not. It's just Justin Jefferson running the show. Who's that?
That's Brandon.
Oh, Brandon on the elliptical. But yeah, all right. Let's get out of this. I think we're rambling on.
Either way, personally, this isn't as spectacular to me as it seems to be to y'all.
I'm gonna give the old man credit.
I'm saying it's spectacular because
I give him
even with young quarterbacks.
I give him the credit for it, but he has the experience. He has.
Then why isn't Aaron Rodgers doing it?
No,
why isn't Patrick Mahomes doing it? And Patrick Mahomes is closer to what Aaron Rodgers was to the passing yards.
They're completely different environments.
Patrick Mahomes, that's all he does is throw.
Yeah, and also how many picks has he thrown?
So has Tom Brady.
I don't.
12,
okay,
they've both thrown the same amount of interceptions. 12
Tom Brady threw that many?
Yeah, he threw 12 interceptions.
That's sad in my opinion. Because Mahomes did shit in that department.
He did.
At the beginning of the year, he cleaned up.
He did clean up, but
to be honest, I think as of
he
right
damn
now,
well needed to.
The team that you're
about, Brandon, we're getting into college in 1 second. We're talking about NFL. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, I'll just say the right team won that game.
Yeah,
for real.
Okay. So, do we want to
give me credit? In 5 to 10 years, you're going to be seeing that a hell of a lot more often. At that age,
we'll see. We'll see. I hope so. I mean.
Easton wants him to know in his secondary division he won his fantasy.
I won the fantasy game.
All right, so that's the end of the recap.
On Ross St. Brown, I'm getting a Jalen Waddle.
We won. Okay, so what happened to the Colts, Easton?
What happened to the Colts is that they got too comfortable, and they thought they were just going to blow by and beat the Jaguars. And Trevor Lawrence decided to wake up at the end of the season for some reason.
I told Trevor this, and I'll remind you, like about a month ago, I said something about we're going to get into these last 3 to 4 games, and you got teams that are going to start losing because they're in and they don't care about these games anymore. You're going to have teams start losing because they have to get in. And they're overthinking it, and then they're playing teams that have no chance of getting in, so they got nothing to lose. So they're going to play balls to the wall and win. And that's exactly what happened in that game.
I kind of want to ask you something because I really don't know what to say about this because it's a draft pick in my opinion. But for the Lions to win against the Packers, wouldn't you think they would want to lose that game so they could get the first round pick and not the Jags?
I have no clue.
Because when I was watching that game, they were saying that if the Lions would have lost that game because the Jags won, if they both would have lost, I can't remember who would have gotten the pick. But since the Jags were winning, but the Lions won too, the Jags get it. But if the Lions would have lost, and since the Jags won, the Lions would have got the first pick.
I think the Jaguars had it regardless. It was just, I don't think the Lions could have gotten the first pick.
No, they could have, but the Lions would have lost against the Packers.
But when did they play? Because I know the Colts played in the afternoon at 12, and I think the Lions the Lions probably know that they beat them already. So you're saying if they would have lost?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you would have thought. I wouldn't say like purposely lost it,
but you know their coach is like, we don't care. We're gonna win we're gonna try. We're going in there to win the game.
Yeah.
So
it's just one of those things that like.
This is not even like that big of a draft class, to be honest. It's not like really last year. Yeah. It really isn't. It's just offensive line and defensive ends. Mm-hmm. Now those defensive ends would be nice to have, but it's not like the Lions need a defensive end to save their team.
Just me as a coach. If I were a coach, I would like to win. Mm-hmm. But the seasons are over. You got one game to play. If you can sacrifice this one more game to lose to get a higher draft pick.
Mm-hmm. But that's
where are you winning in the end?
That's not Campbell's mindset.
It's not his mindset, but
yeah. What the? But yeah.
What?
What is Brandon saying?
Brandon's going off on the comments. But yeah, okay. So.
Well, he wanted us to know that there's a playoff game on Monday night, which I think it is the first. It is the first Monday night playoff game, isn't it?
We need what?
There's not a game. There's game starts Saturday.
Saturday,
and then there's Sunday, and there's one Monday.
But isn't it the first playoff game that's ever been on a Monday?
I don't no clue.
Because I saw something like them advertising in there like it's the first playoff or it's first Monday night playoff game. And
no clue.
Who the hell knows?
But okay, so I want to talk about it. But I think the Colts played way too soft that game. Way too soft on defense. They were playing like they were.
I think they were trying to play conservative.
And that's not what you should be doing. You should not be playing conservative when you're fighting for a playoff spot.
Well, you also don't want to play balls to the wall and make mistakes, because that can screw you over just as much.
Play balls to the wall whenever you have a great lead, and not let Carson Wentz throw the ball 30 times, and let Jonathan Taylor do all the work.
But you saying it's the Jags? See, to me that means nothing, because a lot of these teams, their records do not truly communicate what type of a team they are.
I would disagree, because do you think the Jets record defines who they are? I think it does.
I don't think the Lions record defines who they are.
It doesn't. I mean, some teams it's like.
But also you got to look at the Dolphins. They went 0-7.
They went 1-7.
Or 1-7 would have turned around and won the rest of the season out.
Okay, I can say that some teams aren't defined by their record, but there are teams that are defined by like the Jets.
To me, the only two teams you can really...
Giants.
The Jets...
I don't know. To me, the Giants are actually a better team than the record.
No, the Giants are dog poop.
No, they played some really good, strong games.
Nope, they're dog poop.
But they just couldn't put points on the board.
Now,
the only two teams you can have that argument with, in my opinion, is the Jets and the Texans.
Jets and Texans?
I got Jets, Texans, Lions.
No, the Lions are much better. Because you take Aaron Rodgers out of the picture and the Lions win.
I mean, they did win in Aaron Rodgers.
That's my point.
But the other half of the team wasn't playing. Our defense wasn't even playing.
Yeah, so I just say I think the Lions were that team that just they were gonna go in there, balls to the wall every single time, but they don't have the strength, the roster strength that these other teams have. Like, name me one person on their defense.
I couldn't name me one person on anyone's defense. I didn't get any good measurement.
Exactly, but yeah, I think some are defined, but there are some that aren't. But what was that talking about? But yeah, Carson Wentz does not need to be throwing the ball 30 times. That's not their style. Their style is what the Titans have in running the ball, creating a run game, and then once they get to the red zone,
those Titans are it's a great team.
I know the Colts wish that they were the Colts wish that they were the Titans.
So do the Chiefs.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
bro, they just wait. Just wait, man. Okay, so you were saying something about Nick Foles potentially. I want you to explain that, because that is absolutely mind blowing.
it was talks in this morning, and I saw it on ESPN that the Colts went to talk to the Chicago Bears in a potential trade for Nick Foles.
That is amazing. That's so funny.
They want to switch Nick Foles for Carson Wentz. If the Bears don't want to do that, the Colts want to either buy out Nick Foles. I don't know what his contract's like. They're gonna buy it out, or they're gonna just pick him up at the end of the season.
That's amazing.
To me, that makes it sound like he wants to move anyway.
Who, Wentz?
Yeah. Wentz doesn't.
No, Wentz wants to play.
Yeah, Wentz wants to play. I mean, he's about to get his spot taken again by the same guy that won him a Super Bowl.
That's what I think is funny.
It's so funny. Yeah. That's hilarious. And I think if you're Carson Wentz and you're gonna get replaced by Nick Foles again, that just tells you that you need to go bye-bye.
People are speculating that after this season, Carson Wentz is just going to be a career backup quarterback.
I hope. That's his. I feel like that's his job. Because if your team,
honestly, you can play longer if you do that.
Oh yeah, you can.
Because
for sure,
you know how honestly, if I wasn't just like an amazing ass quarterback, and I'm sitting there getting paid $6 million a year just to sit there on the bench and just, that guy got fucked up. Let me go in.
Yeah, exactly. And you may have to play, but yeah. I think that'd be so funny.
Do that for 40 years.
Do that for 40 years. But yeah, Nick, I don't think Carson Wentz wants to be a backup. If he
doesn't at all.
No, he doesn't.
No one wants to be a backup.
Especially
when you've been the starting quarterback for this long now, and even going to another team to even try to prove that you're a good quarterback, and they even still want to try to replace you.
Oh, side note on the topic of backup quarterbacks. After seeing the 2 games this season for Green Bay, I'd be looking for someone else.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe Carson Wentz. Maybe Kirk Cousins, if he's that amazing.
Actually, Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback.
He's an all-right quarterback. He is if I'm looking at the top 10 quarterbacks, which he's in there, he is the last option.
Kirk Cousins is one of those quarterbacks that he does what needs to get done.
He does.
Okay, but
you know who does that better? Ryan Tannehill. And I will give the Titans credit. Ryan Tannehill executes it better than Kirk Cousins. And you can agree with that.
Yeah. But he also is more flexible.
AJ Brown and Julio Jones.
Julio Jones got his first touchdown yesterday.
But Tannehill,
but he's still like a reliable catcher though.
Tannehill is to me one of the more flexible quarterbacks out there. As in, he can play any style. He can play any style offense at a consistent level of himself.
I need to pull up his Dolphins highlights.
Yeah, his Dolphins highlights do not look that bad.
Okay, that aside,
him scrambling out of the pocket.
They have literally played every style offense this season. Whereas you look at someone like Green Bay, it is literally the exact same offense every game.
Are you talking?
You look at the Chiefs, it's the exact same offense every game. The Steelers, identical every game.
Are you talking about like style of like him scrambling and stuff?
Just like the style of offense they play from game to game. Because like when Derrick Henry got injured, they completely turned that offense around. They had to play it a completely different way.
They did run the ball pretty well with Foreman.
That's to say, when you have a good offensive line like the Titans do,
and
I won't say it's the best, but it's up there. You can throw anybody in the backfield and be like, okay, just run between the spaces.
No, that's very true. But like he had that flexibility to make that happen. He ran that offense very well.
When Derrick Henry went out, they had to completely change their offense.
Yeah,
they had the weapons and the maneuverability to.
Vrabel even said in an interview that we're not going to change the style of play.
Exactly. Yeah.
We're going to continue to run the ball. Yeah, they didn't run it as much as they had Derrick Henry, but they met that. They were at that.
They
line.
Did what they had to do.
I'll put it this way:
the
the run and pass ratio was about the same.
Yeah.
And the only thing I saw different was Ryan Tannehill had these like little pitch passes that would make up for the run, if that makes sense. Like
to Hilliard and all that. Yeah.
He just had like these little passes that were like 3 yards for where he would put his person he was throwing to in a position to make up another 5 yards after the catch.
In my opinion, if Aaron Rodgers ever leave Green Bay, I want them to make an offer for Tannehill.
Oh, I mean,
I think
that'd be good.
I think he would fit in that offense very well.
I think he would too, but I don't think the Titans would ever give up Ryan Tannehill.
Not right now.
No.
Not right now.
But
No, they would make a trade for Rodgers though.
They could.
I think just about anyone would drop their quarterback instantly for Rodgers.
No one knows what Rodgers is going to do after the season.
Which I think he's going to stay.
Broncos, baby.
I think he's retired. I think he's done. He said something today on the Pat McAfee show about potentially like what retirement would be like.
Honestly, if he retires, it's going to be because of all this COVID nonsense.
It won't be because of COVID. I think it's because
he's done.
He's just done.
Yeah.
Well,
if he loses in the NFC Championship again, he's done. If he doesn't go to if he doesn't go to a Super Bowl, he's done.
I don't think so.
You don't think
so?
Because dude, he's been like tortured.
I could see him being done at Green Bay.
Oh, that's what
I don't see him retiring yet.
I see him retiring before going to another team.
Do you think that he would? I think he needs to go out as a Packer. Because, like, think of the legacy.
He would be the kind of guy to do what Jordy Nelson did. Go play 5 years at another team. Decide he's going to
5 years in him.
Decide he wants to retire and then sign, like, for a week at Green Bay so he can retire as the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah. But are we going to move on? Are we done?
Yeah, we're going to do this quote-unquote rapid fire. Oh, wait.
No.
Are we going to do
Chargers and Raiders.
Chargers and Raiders.
Did you guys...
I think it would have been funny if they nailed every play.
Oh, okay. I'm actually going to say the Raiders.
But I'm glad it didn't end in time because I didn't care who won that game. I just wanted to see Roethlisberger to go into the playoffs.
To get his butt blown out by the Chiefs.
Yeah, I want to see that.
I will be so happy if they win that game.
Everybody is invited to the
Could you just
party.
Imagine, though?
I can't imagine it because that's totally ridiculous. It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Okay,
if I come back and I'm going to...
In 2 weeks, Easton's going to come back up. I can't believe they're in the Super Bowl.
The only way the Chiefs lose that game is somehow TJ Watt gets in the backfield and snaps Patrick Mahomes' legs.
Which I think is actually a very possible option.
We handled him so well the last time.
But you guys got a good offensive line.
Yeah, we have. Hey,
that's the only thing. That's the only reason they were able to turn that offense around the second half of the season.
Anyways, I want to talk about the Raiders. I'm actually going to say their name because I respect them. If they would have kneeled that ball, I would have continued to hate them for the rest of my life.
Did you see Derek Carr's face when he was looking at the clock?
Yeah.
But the ref, he was like, now.
So that was so funny. And I'm glad they kicked the field goal and won it.
Could you imagine if it got blocked?
Oh my god, that would have been another thing. But just knocking out a division rival out of the playoffs is what you need to do. You don't. Why would you want the Chargers in the playoffs?
You don't. Especially with the Chiefs in there, you don't want two of the teams that you're rivals with in the playoffs.
Exactly. And
because they're just gonna when you're playing against rivals, they're just gonna want it that much more than you do.
And I cannot believe that. I don't believe this at all. There was no way in hell that they were gonna make it a tie. There was no way. I don't think so.
You definitely have to think that it going to the overtime and like with a minute left, still tie. You're like, oh, maybe we could just end a tie, make it funny. But in the end, you're not like, no, I want to win. Actually,
I mean, if they had gotten to that fourth down position, like back at the 50-yard line,
I know that would have been
it.
Yeah, that would have been it. But I gotta give Derek Carr some respect because that's the only player on the Raiders that I will respect, and he's the only person I like because he put himself into a shit situation with going into the Raiders organization.
I will say, seeing the Raiders in the playoffs is kind of
weird
because
like as a 5 seed,
the Henry Ruggs.
I know
what happened to him.
Yeah.
Darren Waller being injured,
and then
the coach being fired.
What was it? I can't remember his name for some reason.
John Gruden.
Gruden, yeah.
Yeah, the emails and stuff.
Yeah.
Just to see what happened to that
situation
team.
Never should happen.
To me, just to see what happened to the team this entire season, it's just amazing to see them in the playoffs.
Exactly, as a 5 seed. And if there's a chance that we can play them in the playoffs, you have those Steelers, and then we have to play the Raiders. That would be the perfect situation. And that's just hey, here you go to the AFC Championship against the Tennessee Titans. But
I hope the Steelers beat y'all.
I got no.
Dude, I'm telling you guys are gonna watch out for the Bengals.
No, yeah, I guess what?
If the Bengals make it,
I can't wait till we get to the freaking playoffs.
If the Bengals make it to y'all are losing to them again.
I don't know about that. It'd definitely be a good game. I think it would be like the Buffalo Chiefs game last year.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good game.
That was a good game.
I can definitely.
Yeah, it was definitely a good game because we won. But yeah.
No, I like it where it's at, Brandon. I like more teams in. It makes it more exciting.
I don't know, bro. I like it.
Let them all go.
I liked it to where the 1 and 2 seed had the bye.
Yeah, that's
why did they stop that? That's so. Why does the 1 seed get the bye? Just the 1 seed. Why
I just think is the
honestly, if you ask me, if you get the 1 seed, you deserve to have the bye. No one else.
I know, but the 1 and 2, it just doesn't make sense.
To me, that was always weird though.
The 1 and 2 seed get a bye
because that means that 4 teams always had a bye.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Well, it'd be the 1 and 2 seed on the AFC and 1 and 2 seed in the NFC.
Yeah.
NFC side, yeah, but
because then they saw it as back then they saw it as 2 total different championships. True. And then a Super Bowl. Whereas now it is a championship.
I guess it makes it more defined with more people, more definite and more clarity, and it's a lot more fair to, or not really.
It's a lot more straightforward if only one has a bye.
If the lower seed wins, they have to go and play the 1 seed. That's kind of screwed up, but yeah.
Oh, say it does seem like excuse me. It does seem like the 1 seed does get a lot more perks now than they did,
which they deserve.
Yeah, true.
Honestly,
if we just would have beat them,
if you're going to give anyone benefits, it has to be the 1 seed.
Yeah, it does have to be. I agree with you. Yeah, should we go on to the playoffs?
Okay.
Well.
Yeah,
Easton has a little note here about Mahomes, but I'm going to bring it in with y'all almost screwed up last weekend.
We almost did, but we secured it. Nick Bolton and Melvin Ingram.
I don't even give it to them. They just
Melvin Ingram won the game for us.
Okay. No. I'll give the scoop and score. The fumble was half his fault.
Who?
The running back.
Whose fault?
He got clobbered.
He got clobbered by Melvin Ingram.
Your job is to protect the ball.
Especially, your possession, and he didn't.
That's my point.
Who was running the ball? Was it? What was it? It was Gordon. It was Melvin Gordon who was having a good game, and then that happened, and they just lost it. And I think it was because they ran it too much, and I think Melvin Ingram saw that he was a little gassed, maybe he wasn't holding on very tight, and just took advantage of it and knocked it out. Nick Bolton almost passed out on the 30-yard line. That was funny
because it wasn't a good. That wasn't a good play either. That was a busted play.
I was.
No, it wasn't busted. It's just the defense read it really good.
Oh yeah. Well, no, you know what happened. You know what happened. Hold on. The offensive line went towards the blitz down the middle.
Yeah.
They didn't. They had to respect the blitz in the middle, and Melvin Ingram just went around him and took it and got it.
That was another interesting thing. Melvin Gordon went straight to that.
I know.
On black side.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. It was busted and it wasn't ran right.
Yeah, it was a little busted, but it was funny because Nick Bolton went to Mizzou, Drew Lock went to Mizzou, and Drew Lock's just hunting him down.
Did you see what Drew Lock said?
What did he say? Was it something funny?
Someone asked, it was like, so how come you couldn't catch up with Bolton? He was like, well, he always beat me in practice, so.
that's funny.
What's also funny is that if he'd gotten tackled outside of the red zone, y'all probably would have lost too.
No, we wouldn't have.
Yeah, we definitely would have made a touchdown.
Nah.
There's no way. But yeah, should we go in the playoffs?
Let's go for it.
Let's do it. Okay. Who wants it? Trevor, you go first.
Who I think is going to be in the Super Bowl, or just each game?
Just each game. Who do you think is going to win? Nathan, pull this up for us. All right, we got it. I'm not going off that. But yeah, we'll get to it.
Between Cincy and Las Vegas, I got Cincy beating Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I got Buffalo beating New England only because they showed without weather conditions who the better team is.
Mm-hmm.
So I got Buffalo there, and Buffalo just has a lot more experience in the playoffs than a quarterback at New England. Now, granted, they do have the greatest coach when it comes to playoffs time, so that it's going to be interesting. But I just think in the end it's going to be Buffalo.
Okay.
And then Kansas City over Pittsburgh. I mean, if anybody thinks Pittsburgh's going to win that game, you just get out.
I expect Kansas City to win, but I will not be surprised.
Nathan, look at it. They beat them 38-10 in 2 weeks ago.
Hey, that's not saying anything. When y'all beat people, you beat everybody almost by 20 points. So. But
then going on.
I would not be surprised though. But I have Kansas City winning.
Okay.
Going on, I think Cincinnati. This is where my upset is. I think Cincinnati is going to beat Tennessee.
Wait, hold on.
Cincinnati would play Tennessee.
It would. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just.
I believe Cincinnati is going to upset Tennessee, and they go to the AFC Championship. And between Kansas and Buffalo, I'm going to go with Kansas because I feel like they're hotter of a team right now than Buffalo is.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just see them scoring real early in the game and Buffalo just not being able to catch up.
Okay.
So I got Cincinnati and Buffalo and Kansas City in the AFC Championship, and between that, I got Kansas City going to the Super Bowl.
Thanks, Trevor. Trevor has been on the Chiefs train for so long, and I love it, Nathan.
No,
Wait, I want he's gonna hop on it when the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, and it's gonna be. I'm gonna welcome him still.
And on the NFC side, I got the Rams beating Arizona. And then I got the Bucks beating Philly, so I got LA playing Tampa, and then I'm gonna upset the Cowboys. I got San Francisco beating the Cowboys.
So you almost have the same thing as I do.
Yeah,
yeah, very similar.
Because San Francisco, they're looking kind of scary.
Everybody's looking at San Francisco and thinking that they're gonna be Dallas.
They are way more dynamic.
I can
definitely
see them being Dallas
does.
especially since Dallas is 1-5 against playoff teams.
Exactly, and you know how.
And for if San Francisco is going to beat anybody, it is Dallas.
Oh yeah, Deebo Samuel is going to take control of that game.
Oh, for sure.
Which is really funny is that I don't think what's his face their quarterback Garoppolo. I don't think he's like a spectacular quarterback.
He's like Kirk Cousins.
He's one of those quarterbacks that
I still think Kirk Cousins is better, but
and we saw that in the Super Bowl when the Chiefs won. He did just enough, but he just didn't win.
That's not just enough.
Going back to the playoffs, it'd be LA against Tampa, and I got LA winning that game only because LA beat Tampa, a healthy Tampa Bay team in the regular season, and Tampa's still not fully back. They lost a lot of their offensive weapons.
Exactly.
And LA is healthy. And now they're playing them with OBJ.
Mm-hmm.
So I can just see LA beating Tampa there.
Trevor.
Green Bay is definitely going to beat San Francisco. But between LA and Green Bay, this is my hardest game. Because as a Green Bay Packers fan, I want them to go to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. But just like I said earlier, just looking at pure talent on a team, LA definitely has us by a landslide. Mm-hmm. Because we got Jalen Ramsey, Von Miller, and Aaron Donald. Those are three big names on the defense.
Exactly.
Where I believe Preston Smith is coming, or Zadarius Smith is coming back for Green Bay. Zaire Alexander, I believe, is coming back, but they haven't played all season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so they're going to be a little rusty.
Yeah.
Now, if they do come back and they only play like half the game. Mm-hmm. The defense that we had to get us to where we are right now, I'm happy with. Mm-hmm. But it's just one of those things. I just think LA in the end, they're going to be wanting it more than Green Bay is. Mm-hmm. Now I don't know because the way Rodgers is, how he wants to finish this season, he might play lights out this game.
Yeah.
But just going off pure talent and what I believe LA is going to do in the playoffs, I got LA versus
if
Kansas
Green Bay
City.
makes it to the NFC Championship, the first play of the game is going to be a Hail Mary.
Can I finish? I got Kansas City and LA in the championship, and I'm going to give it to Kansas City this year.
Trevor. Welcome, my friend. Now Nathan.
Trevor and I are very similar, except for I have Tennessee winning against Cincinnati.
Okay.
Boo.
I have Buffalo winning against Kansas.
Boo. L takes.
I have Tampa Bay beating LA.
Don't bet against Tom. You can't bet against Tom. That's the thing.
Only because I think Tampa Bay will actually win it more than LA.
No.
In my opinion.
But hey.
But they're not going to be strong enough to take on Green Bay.
Yeah. I'm just going to wait until my turn.
So,
Nathan, keep on going.
In my books, I have Tennessee and Green Bay in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And I think Green Bay will have a last-second win against Tennessee.
All right. I mean, I can't, that's your prediction, but I'm gonna go.
I feel like that's reasonable.
It's reasonable, yeah, it is, but only on the NFC side. On the AFC side, I think Tennessee will. Oh wait, no, I'm not here. I'm looking at it wrong. I think Cincinnati is definitely gonna beat the Raiders. It's gonna be a landslide. And then,
honestly, if you ask me, it's a little offensive to have them a 4 and 5 seed because I think Cincinnati's so much better than the Raiders.
I mean, shoot. But yeah, so Trevor brought up that the best coach in the playoffs is back in the playoffs. So why not go with them? I'm going to pick the Patriots over the Buffs in the playoffs.
That's only because you want to play the Bucks or the Patriots.
No, wait. We would have to play Cincinnati because it goes Cincinnati and then the Patriots in the playoffs, right?
No,
because
yeah.
Because
if New England wins here.
Oh wait, yeah.
If New England wins here, they would
lower.
play Tennessee, and then Cincinnati would go down here.
Yeah, so I think Cincinnati's gonna beat the Raiders. I think Patriots are gonna beat the Buffalo Bills, and I think.
Are you telling me you're more afraid of Buffalo than Cincinnati?
Oh no, I'm more afraid of Cincinnati than Buffalo.
Then you want Buffalo to win.
Well, no, I'm just going off because I think I don't want. Okay. I'm basing this off of who is going to win and who I don't want to play. But because I think the Patriots I think Bill Belichick and the playoffs is scary. I think we've seen what happens, But
no, if that happens, I do agree with that decision.
Okay, that was a mess up.
But I agree with that.
That was a mess up, to be honest with you. But okay, I'm gonna fly through this. So and then I have the Chiefs beating the Steelers, obviously. So that means Tennessee will play the Patriots, and I think Tennessee will beat the Patriots. Tennessee will beat the Patriots, and then I have the Chiefs versus Cincinnati, a rematch, and I think the Chiefs
are going to lose again.
No, they're not. They're gonna win. I think the Chiefs are going to win. It's not going to be easy, but I think we're going to win. And then so it's Tennessee and the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game again. This is totally not because I love the Chiefs, but the Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl again. No. That's not. It's. I'm just being honest. I
won't be surprised if they do. I think there's other teams that are going to knock them off their pedestal.
You think?
The only team I would see, there's two teams. It'd be Cincinnati for one, and then Buffalo.
Yeah.
Now, in my opinion, I think Tennessee would too.
Well, of course, you have them winning in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Tennessee's a more organized team right now.
We'll see. We'll see if they go out first round. Then we'll see.
I mean, everyone I pick is going to go out first round. Obviously, I mean that's how it goes.
No, I think you'll be fine, Nathan. But, okay, so I'm gonna pick between the Cardinals and LA. I gotta give it to LA. I have to be.
Cardinals are not held.
By the way, if LA gets to the Super Bowl, they get home field advantage. Just imagine that. So they have something to fight for. So I think LA will win, and then Dallas and San Francisco.
To me, that's a game that honestly could go 50-50.
Oh yeah, it sure can.
I just think San Francisco has more of a wiggle.
I like to pick the upsets, but Dallas has Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs, and then they also have on the other side of the ball, and then DeMarcus Lawrence as well on defense.
Just in my opinion, Dallas's offense has the second half of the season has not been what it has.
I know
in the beginning.
They lost to a crippled Arizona team.
I know.
was sad.
But I think I have to give it to Dallas for this game, even though I hate them.
And that's why I say it's 50-50.
But you know why they're the 3 seed, so
they would play Tampa Bay.
They would play Tampa Bay. So guess what? This loss is going to hurt even more for them. So they're going to play Tampa Bay. They're going to get their hearts broken because never bet against Brady. And then Green Bay versus LA. And this is where you guys run into trouble because I think LA is going to beat you guys. I'm sorry, Trevor. But I think LA has... Hey,
I had them beating Green Bay in the AFC Championship.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. I think LA is hunting for that at-home advantage because we kind of saw that, how it was in Tampa Bay. But, I mean, the Chiefs just did not perform that game. But then, so we'll have LA versus Tampa Bay. This is where I'm going to bet against Brady, and I'm going to take LA. And I think it's going to be the Chiefs and the Rams in the Super Bowl. And obviously, this is not just because I love the Chiefs, okay? I'm basing this off of facts.
But you still have the Bengals there.
It's a mess up.
You can change it.
I can't. I literally can't. Look, I keep on clicking it, and it moves on. I don't know how to fix it. But I don't need that. Who cares? But I'm just basing this off of fact, and I'm not biased in any way, Trevor. I'm not biased.
I mean, you and me have the same people in the Super Bowl.
I'm joking, but I think the Chiefs are gonna.
Well, just on the AFC side of the bracket, we're just looking at the teams and the way they finish their seasons off. Now, granted, Kansas City did lose to Cincinnati, but whatever. Mm-hmm. Kansas City just looks like the hot team on that side.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's my playoff prediction. I think it's pretty well.
Now the only way Kansas City loses
is if we play Buffalo.
If somehow they take away Travis Kelce and Hill and make Mahomes pass to people he's not really comfortable passing to. I mean,
shoot, we saw him pass to Pringle, and it's been him and Pringle.
Those are some good chips.
I know, I love Pringles, but he needs a sponsorship. But Byron Pringle and Mahomes have that little connection. I'm worried about Hardman. Hardman, I think, I love Hardman, but I think he's a bust.
Well, just really, like you said, if they take away Hill and Kelce, I would be okay as a coach playing the Chiefs if they still beat me with Mahomes passing to the other his top two receivers.
Right.
I would be okay with that. Yeah. Now, it would suck because it's a playoff game, but if my defense took away his top two receivers and he still beats you, then they deserve to win.
Yeah.
Now, personally, side note, my backup Super Bowl game, which would also be a really good one, would be Cincinnati and Green Bay.
That would be pretty fun.
You just hate the Chiefs.
You said the Chiefs were going to lose out, and look what they did.
I wasn't far off from being wrong.
Very far
You said they weren't going to make the playoffs.
They're second seeds.
They had it. Okay, if they had continued playing like they had, they wouldn't have.
But guess what? Mahomes clutched up, and he woke up. They ran the ball.
I don't think Mahomes clutched up. I think the rest of the offense finally got their shit together.
Yeah, the offense, including Patrick Mahomes.
Mahomes cannot run an offense by himself.
Of course,
he throws too many picks.
It's always a quarterback.
There's no I in team.
There's no I in team.
Unless you're on Packers. Unless you're on the Packers.
Unless it's the Packers.
Aaron Rodgers has proven in many different seasons that he can run that offense all by himself.
Aaron Rodgers is just...
Aaron Rodgers could be the only damn player on the field and somehow get a passing touchdown for 80 yards.
We'll see.
Keep dreaming that.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
That was the easiest you're wrong I've ever said.
All right. Should we move on to the championship game and then call it?
The championship game for the NCAA
was fun.
Was not boring.
The most...
Not
boring championship game I've watched until the fourth quarter.
Nope. That is top tier SEC
football. I stopped watching in the first quarter, picked up in the fourth quarter, and nothing was different.
Top tier.
That is SEC football.
That's why I don't like college.
Big defense and just waiting till somebody makes the right move. And I think Georgia.
Now, okay, as far as a very strategy. Statistical, just slugging it out in game, it was a really good, smart game. But for me personally, it was boring as hell.
A lot of people did think that was boring. I have to give it to them. A lot of people did. But me, myself...
Honestly, I think it would have been a great game if, both teams went for almost 40 points. We saw a bunch of really big plays.
I don't want to see Alabama score 50 points in a championship game.
I do.
I don't want to.
Because I also want to see them be outscored by 60 points by Georgia.
See, this is my thing. And a lot of people say that, offensive games are more interesting than defensive games. Well, how can you say that? Wait, say like your team, let's see, other teams score 30-plus points, yet y'all still win. How does that make you feel? Because if that's my team and I see them giving up 30-something points to a team, I'm going to be this... yeah, we still won the championship and everything. But next year, I'm losing half my players because their seniors are going to the NFL and they're still giving up 37 points or 30-plus points to a championship caliber team.
Exactly. And if NFL teams see, this team is, that one big dude for Georgia, whoever picks up that guy, what was it?
No. Okay, personally, I think that if it had been, Cincinnati and Michigan?
Cincinnati. What do you mean? Oh, Cincinnati, Michigan, and the
yeah.
Oh,
honestly, to me, that game would have been a lot more exciting.
No. I think it would be boring because I want to.
To me, it was already boring.
I can't.
So.
Okay.
No, that game was fun to watch.
It was fun because so me personally, I know. A lot of people would think that game was boring just because there was no touchdowns.
Like, I literally was not excited until the fourth quarter.
But I love defensive games because it shows
I love low-scoring, close games like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate high-scoring close
to
games.
me,
competitive. It was competitive the whole time.
To me, those games are only fun if you're watching your team play.
Oh no, I love
like I said, low-scoring, close games are fun to watch.
Okay,
because the second someone messes up, the other team's winning.
Yeah.
Okay, why to me, up until that point, it wasn't even exciting.
Why do you think nobody went for it on 4th down at the 5-yard line? Because they knew that both defenses were on, and they had to kick a field goal.
Okay, don't get me wrong. You have to play that game that way. But say if there happened to be another game going on, and it was a offensive game both ways, I'd be watching that game instead.
True.
You're just boring.
I love defensive games. Jordan Davis is the guy that I'm talking about. Whoever gets him in the draft this year, because he is a senior, they will transform that guy. I think he has a Chris Jones caliber talent. Just because he's a big dude.
Watch,
and so
he's going to be one of those
up.
people that you say is going to do great in the NFL.
I think he's going to do
and
well.
then he's going to be a
he's
1 year wonder.
The guy looked like a giant out there, blowing past everybody.
But you know how many people go first?
I know,
go first in the draft, and then they end up being nothing, and then the person that went 12th is like the career.
I don't think he's going first round.
I don't think he is either.
I wouldn't put money on it.
But
if he's as good as he says he is, he should.
If whoever gets him it's going to be a great pick and a steal. But again, let's go back to the game. It was so much of a chess match, and it was so fun to see Alabama and Georgia's defense both go at it and make it a physical game, because I really didn't want to see Alabama just have the best offense, because I didn't want them just driving down the field the whole time, because that's boring. I want to see Georgia's football, which is defense. That's Georgia's way of playing. It's mostly defense. So I wanted to see
you say that, but as soon as we get in the fourth quarter, it was
it just switched game. Because
now everyone got tired, but
Alabama just started making mistakes, and that's when I don't know.
I mean, so did Georgia.
I don't think
really.
Not really. Georgia only gave up one touchdown in that fourth quarter.
They gave up
one touch. It was
Stetson Bennett threw one interception. And I believe Alabama scored on that. But what did Georgia do? They came right back around. They were like, let's forget that interception. Let's play Georgia football again. Let's go down and score.
But then they also had that fumble.
No, he didn't fumble the ball, and then he got it back up and ran.
Not that one. The one he
threw away.
That one? Okay, yeah.
And the Alabama guy just happened to grab it.
And then what happened? Georgia's defense came up clutch. And
that's what I was talking about.
The point being is that both offenses screwed up just as many times.
Well, no. Stetson Bennett didn't throw an interception. That's what I was talking about. Was that turnover? I don't know why it says an interception. That was the turnover I was talking about.
Okay.
But both offenses, to me, made just as many mistakes.
Then how come Alabama didn't win?
They didn't capitalize on the mistakes as well.
Okay.
Yes, they did. They scored off that turnover.
Yeah, they scored off the turnovers.
No, yes.
And then Georgia had 2 turnovers and only scored off of 1. So you can't tell me that Alabama didn't capitalize on turnovers.
But there was also opportunities where they could have gotten a turnover. If the ball didn't happen to bounce right back to Bennett, that would have been Alabama's ball nearly in the red zone.
Talk about the first quarter when he ran it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
would've,
Bryce Young, they almost did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't disagree.
But either way, Stetson Bennett, is that his name? Did I say it right?
Stetson Bennett, yeah.
Yeah. His story is absolutely unbelievable. Him going to Georgia, leaving Georgia to go to junior high, and then going to back to Georgia and then winning a championship.
Did you say junior high?
What did I say?
Junior college.
Junior college, yeah. But I think, and then the next morning, he was on an interview with GMA, and he just was not there. He was so tired. He was so tired and out of it. But I thought it was a great game. I love that Georgia beat Alabama because I really didn't want to see Alabama.
Definitely the team I wanted to win.
Exactly, that's the team.
And honestly, I only feel that way against Georgia or for Georgia because of what they did for Arkansas State when we went there a couple years ago.
What happened?
Well, it was the season where Coach A's wife had passed away.
Oh, really?
And they had a just out of the weird pink out for us.
Really?
And like half the fans were wearing.
Was Kirby there at the time?
Kirby Smart? Yeah.
Yeah.
He was there. Okay.
And like half of the fans were wearing like half A-State, half Georgia's gear.
Oh yeah, you gotta respect
their
that.
naked team had whatever I can't remember what her name was. For whatever reason, I think Penny. I don't think that's right though. But they had her name painted on their backs.
That's nice.
Anyway, they just did a lot of cool stuff for us, and that's where I get all their respect.
Yeah, it was a good game. I enjoyed watching it. SEC football is mostly defensive. It's gonna be a defensive game. It's gonna be who's gonna make the first mistake, and Alabama kind of gave up their king a little bit in chess terms, and they lost it. But yeah, it was fun. That's it for me.
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
All right, so y'all want to talk about NBA? I don't know what there is to talk about NBA.
I mean, John Morant's going off for the Grizzlies.
That dude's on
He is in the talks for MVP, but I don't know. Steph Curry's got that on lockdown.
Steph Curry's kind of going through a rough patch, though.
He is, but I think come later on, he's gonna win MVP, most definitely.
I don't know.
If John Morant does win MVP, it'll be very.
If John Morant keeps up this play the entire season, yes, but he's only been doing this for like the past 2 weeks.
But yeah.
Let's see. I'm looking up NFL schedule.
Oh yeah, we forgot to do our rapid fires.
That was a rapid fire.
What?
Playoffs.
The playoff was our rapid fire.
Our playoffs was a rapid fire. Okay. Wait.
All right. We're looking at. So we have for Saturday. For Saturday we have Raiders and Bengals, and then Patriots and Bills. Mm-hmm. And then for Sunday we have a bunch of games or 3 games on Sunday. We have Eagles, Bucks, Niners and Cowboys, Steelers and Chiefs. And then we have another wild card for Monday night, which is Cardinals and Rams.
Yeah. Whole week. I can't wait. I want to get all my homework done and just focus the rest of my time.
Okay, so we'll have plenty to talk about next week.
Yeah, we'll have a lot of things.
And then obviously the next Saturday and Sunday games are TBDs.
Yep. But yeah, I'm good to end it. I have nothing else to talk about.
Okay. Holy Jeebus, you're making noises. Oh, you're making more noises.
I'm sorry.
Apologies for not doing anything last week. I was going to attempt to let y'all know, but evidently you cannot make community posts on YouTube's subscription pages if you do not have a certain amount of subscribers. We're poor, I'm sorry. I don't know, like as of right now, I'm pretty sure I am the only one watching our stream on my phone up there. But with that said, that's going to be our wrap. Mm-hmm. Thanks for tuning in, and we will be back sometime again this next week. I think we're probably going to do it on Wednesdays again. So, see y'all then.